Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. I'm here again. Can you believe it? My entire schedule this week has been totally off, but I am here this morning and happy to be with you. My name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 28 years, and I love what I do. I am here to help you learn more about the joy of card making and paper crafting, and to give you tips and tricks to make that more fun and easier for you. My final goal is to encourage you to send out those cards once you've made them and make somebody else's day. I know too many people who make beautiful cards, just checking my video here, make beautiful creations and then hoard them. Don't hoard them, send them out and make something new. That's what the fun is all about. Hi Penny, I am glad you are here. Please be sure to give me a hello in the comments if you're popping on. And if you come back on the replay, let me know that also. As always, I will be giving away the card that we make today. So every comment you leave will count as an entry. And you can give me any comments. You can let me know how life is going. You can ask me about what I'm doing. You can tell me if you like it or not. I love to hear from you. So please do that. I have not drawn yet for the winner from my last card. That's how life has been. Crazy, but I will hopefully do that today. We actually did an unexpected trip yesterday. We have a local retired peace officers group, and my husband is a retired peace officer from California. And they get together for lunch once a month, and sometimes we go and sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's hours and hours away, and sometimes it's close. And just kind of at the last minute, we decided to go join them yesterday. It was only an hour away, and we had a delightful time. They are such a wonderful group of people, so I'm so glad we went. But once again, threw my whole schedule off. So glad to be with you now. I'm going to take you around so you can see my outside and then down to the table. And we're going to just look at a few things here. This is me, Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. My blog is crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. My Facebook is facebook.com/Crazy Stamping Lady. You can find me on YouTube under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. And Stampin' Up! Offers a rewards program. So for every online order of $20 or more, you're going to automatically receive 10% back in rewards every single time that you can use on a future purchase. So that is awesome. Those rewards are redeemable for 1 year. You can accumulate them if you want to. It'll always use the oldest ones first. So it is a great system. And you can get your account at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. Just be sure that you opt into getting the rewards. And if you want me to send you any of our catalogs, be sure that you opt into receiving information from me. Some people opt out of that because they think they're going to get a million emails. Trust me, you will not get a million emails from me. So opt into that and I'll be able to send you catalogs when the time comes if you want them. Okay. No cards to share with you, but I do want to remind you, if you can share my video, that really helps my small business out. So share me to your homepage, to a crafty friend, to a crafty group, email me somewhere. I don't care. Just let me know if you do that and I will give you a bonus entry in today's drawing. I'm going to move this out of the way. Some things going on real quickly here. We do have some product changes. They were announced this week. I went over them last time. Real briefly, we are going to be gradually getting rid of our red rubber stamps and going to only photopolymer. It is for business purposes. We can no longer source all of the things needed for the red rubber stamps easily. It's just becoming harder and harder. And our photopolymer stamps outsell our red rubber ones by a huge margin. So Stampin' Up! Has decided to phase the red rubber out and go strictly to photopolymer. We are also phasing out our Stamping Right markers. That is our watercolor markers like this. They have a brush on one end and a felt tip on the other. We are phasing those out strictly because they undersell our stamping blends by so much. And our stamping blends are our alcohol markers that we just are not maintaining enough sales on those from Stampin' Up. Watercolor markers are so available from so many companies. They don't match 100% exactly, but people make do with them and they're less expensive than what we had. So I understand that. So those are all on our last chance list right now. Be sure to get them while they're still there. When they're gone, they're gone. And then the last big change is we are going away from the CD type cases that our stamps came in, like this. We're going to go rather to an envelope, a plastic envelope of this sort that the photopolymer stamps will go in. And it'll be really kind of cool because you'll be able to store them right together, all of them, because they'll be in the same size envelope. So photopolymer stamps and dies, both in the same envelope. It'll be great. It's going to be a change for a lot of people because I know that's not how you're used to storing them. But there's some creative solutions and I'll try to share them with you as we go so that you can enjoy this big change. I'm thrilled about it because it is going to take up so much less room on my shelf. And I am always running out of room on my shelf. So yay to that. Okay, enough about the product changes for now. We also have an in-color product sale going on this month. Our in-colors are all, select in-color products are all 15% off. So if you go out onto the site and you just check in-color, it'll come up. It'll show you the things that are on sale at 15% off. This is our 2025-27 in-colors, and it's a great time to stock up on those if you didn't already get them, like through my in-color club or some other way. Also, products that contain the in-color, like the Bunch of Thanks kit that was recently introduced. Those also are on sale. So go out there, it'll show you online what's on sale and take advantage of that. And then we do have a bunch of new Last Chance products. A lot of those are on sale. Not all of them, but a lot are. So be sure to check that Last Chance list every time you go out there, just in case there is something that you don't want to miss out on, because when those are gone, they're gone. My free monthly class, every month I give away a free monthly class to anyone who orders at least a $50 order from me. A $50 order will get you 3 free card kits in your packet. $75 will get you 3 free card kits plus a bonus project. $100 will get you 3 free card kits, a bonus project, and a half a pack of an embellishment. Those kits, well, I made a change on this. Those kits are going to be mailed out by the beginning of September. But let me look here real quick. I think I had to postpone the date on this and forgot to change it here on my calendar. And then my stupid computer wants to do crazy things. So let me know. September 15th. Nope, this one is good. So this one is good. It's October I have to change. So I'll let you know as that gets closer. So September 15th, 11 o'clock a.m. will be my free class online right here in this page. And that is available for all to watch, whether or not you get your kits. All right, enough of that stuff. Quickly, last time we did the One Sheet Wonder with the, why can't I remember the name of it? The Painterly Pears Designer Series paper sheet. And I did end up using that whole sheet of product. So I wanted to show you all the card designs I came up with. I made more cards than this, but they were duplicate designs. So I'm only going to show you the 4 different designs that I made. These right here. So I used up all the pieces from that One Sheet Wonder. And we had 2-inch strip down the middle. And my friend Linny suggested making bookmarks out of that. So that's exactly what I did. And look how cute that turned out. I absolutely love it. A good friend is a gift. I just decorated it with a little stamping at the top and some twine. And I thought that was an excellent idea on how to use up those strips, Linny. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with me. I loved these. I loved everything about these cards. They were so much fun to make. The paper is simply beautiful, guys. So yes, Painterly Pears Designer Series paper. So I just wanted to share those. Okay, today we are doing a fun angled gatefold card. This is the recipe. I will bring it back at the end with the card, and I will also post it in the comments of this video before the day is over, hopefully. So that'll give you all the products that you need for this. For this card, I've got pieces here. We have a basic white envelope, and actually I'm not going to use this envelope. I decided to start the envelope I'm going to use, and it's sitting here to the side, and I'll show you why in just a little bit, but it'll be a basic white envelope. We have a piece of Pool Party that is 5.5 by 11 inches, as well as a piece of Pool Party that is 1 inch wide by 9 inches, and a piece to punch. We have a piece of basic white for the inside of the card, and this is 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/4, as well as a scrap to punch and a piece for our sentiment. And then we have 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper. Now let me show you what I'm using. I am using the Floral Gingham Vellum Specialty paper. This was $10. It's now on the last chance list for $9. And I checked this morning and it's still there. So it is beautiful, guys. It's vellum, so I'm hoping you can see how translucent that is. There is this beautiful yellow floral print, this beautiful blue print with the little white flowers, and then blue gingham in Pool Party. I love this vellum. I fell in love with it immediately, and I think it is so pretty, and we are going to be using this on our card today. But be sure, if you love it also, that you get out there on the last chance list before it is all gone. So I had 2 pieces of that, and the 2 pieces started at 3 1/8 inch by 5 1/4. And then I cut them down and angled them. And I did that ahead of time just for the sake of time. I angled them exactly like I'm going to angle this in just a minute. So you'll see how I did that. I just did these ahead of time. So I'm going to set them aside for a minute. And then I also have a strip that is 1/2 inch by 3 7/8 inch of that Designer Series paper that we're going to use. So let's get busy on our card base. This is not our normal cut for a card base. It is 5.5 by 11 because we're going to make a gatefold card that overlaps. And I'm going to grab my score board here. Now, our score cutter is 1 cutter, and you just change out the blades in it, so it comes with a light gray for scoring and a dark gray for cutting, and you only need 1 of these. But because I do so many classes where I might need people to score and cut, I have 2, 1 with a scoring blade, 1 with a cutting blade, so don't be confused by that. We're going to take our piece of Pool Party, and I am going to score this at, oh, I think I made a mistake on my directions here. Let me look real quick because I want to correct it while I am thinking of it. I'm going to score at, I'm going to cross this out and put a little arrow there. So we're scoring from each end at 3 3/8 inch, not just 3/8. So I just corrected that on there. Okay, so I'm going to come into 3. Is that? I hope this is right. Now I'm confusing myself, guys. 3 3/8. That's, we're going to go with it and hope this is right. 3 3/8 inch from this end, and then I'm going to flip it around. And we're going to come in at 3 3/8 inch from this end. These 3/8 inches sometimes really get me crazy. So, and what does that leave me in the middle? I might be off on those. 3 3/8 and 3 3/8. 3 and... Just bear with me, guys, while I get my brain wrapped around this. I should have thought it through a little bit Well, I think that's right. We're going to go with it. We're going to assume that is correct. 3 3/8 inches from each end. And if it's wrong, I'll correct it as we go, and I will give you the new measurements. But I am pretty sure that is right. So what this ends up being is a trifold, basically. A gatefold card where one side comes in, and I am going to actually score this both directions. I just like to do that to get a really nice crease. I'll do the same thing here, score this one. I mean bone fold it so that I get a really nice crease, not score it, okay? Use my bone folder. So now what you end up having are these two pieces that overlap each other, okay? So that's our gatefold. And I want to make these two side pieces angled. So we're going to take a pencil and a ruler, and I am going to come down. So if this is my card, like this, on the very left-hand side here at the top, I am going to come down 1.5 inches and make a little tick mark there. And then on the bottom from the left side over, I'm going to come in 1 inch and make a little tick mark, okay? I'm going to do the same thing on this side. On the very right side, coming down from the top, I'm going to measure 1.5 inches and make that mark. And then on the bottom on the right side coming in, I'm going to make a 1 inch mark, okay? So that's how I'm going to get my angles cut on here. And I'm going to use my cutter. So this is the same cutter, it just has the dark gray cutting blade now. And we are going to cut. We're going to cut from that score line. I'm going to put it right in the middle of my track here, down to that little tick mark. So you just want to take your second and line it up so that that score line is right in the middle of your track. The tick mark is right in the middle of my track. And then I'm going to come in and cut that. So there's my first angle. And then we're going to do the same thing, going from that tick mark now, right up in there, down to the one on the bottom. That's 1 inch in. Just like that. And again, take your time, guys. There's no rush to get this done. So when you're scoring and cutting, take your time to make sure it's accurate, or you'll be disappointed, and you don't want to be disappointed. Okay, so there is our first angle mark. I see now that there's just a hint of pencil mark still there, so I'm going to come in with my eraser and erase that off. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on this other side. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to place that 1.5 inch down in the track, and this other score line in the track, right like that. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm doing here. Come in here and cut that out. And then we're going to angle it the other way and go from that angle down to the 1 inch tick mark. Get those in where I want them. Come in here. And you can see when I cut, I usually go down like in the middle. Oh, this started to come up. I usually go down like in the middle and then back and forth. And that's because when your blade hits a corner like this, it tends to crunch your paper. So by starting in the middle and going back and forth, you're not having that happen. It's saving that little corner from getting crunched. And I'm going to erase off any tick mark that might be on there. Now let me move some of these things out of the way. All these little triangles. I am going to hang on to these, and maybe next time I'll be able to show you something with these. I have these blue triangles as well as these vellum ones. So I'm going to try to come up with a card that uses those scraps. So we'll see what I can do. I think I can come up with something. I'm going to take my sanding block here, and I'm just going to sand a little bit on the edges of my paper. It looks like my cutting blade is getting slightly dull, so I'll have to run it through some aluminum foil. So if you get any of those little frayed pieces on there, just take some kind of file, like a nail file. I like these. These are the nail ones that you can buy in the beauty stores for nails. And you can just kind of go along the edge and get rid of any of those little fibers that might be showing. So I'm going to take a minute to do that. And there. Okay, so this is how the angles of our cards are going to go. I'm going to take my bone folder and go right over those cuts to smooth them down nice and flat for our card. Okay, now you can see before I cut these out, I did the same thing. I started out with a piece of designer series paper, actually 2 of them that were 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. I came down 1 1/2 on each of these 2 sides like that, and 1 inch in, and did the same exact angles. So hopefully they will match on the card. And we're just going to place these onto the base on each side. Now, one of the things with vellum is that most adhesives tend to show through vellum. But the cool thing about having a printed vellum like this is it doesn't show as much. So you can use most any adhesive on these colored vellums and it's going to be fine. And I'm just going to come in here with my seal and go along the whole edge of this to hold it down. And then we're going to come in here and place it on this base. And I'm going to try to get it pretty straight here and pretty even, just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on this other side. Now, if your angles aren't exactly even, it's just because when you were placing them in the track or drawing your little tick lines, something was slightly off. Don't worry about it too much. Honestly, once they're on the card and you see it all together, it's not going to matter. So I'm just going to come in here and do the same thing. Places pretty evenly with an even border to the bottom and to the side here. And then let that crisscross all over. So the card I'm making here is a gatefold that opens like this. When we're done, I'm going to show you an alternative you could have done with this same exact design. For some reason, my alternative is a little bit different size. That's why I was questioning my marks. I don't know exactly what I did on there, but I did something weird. But you can still see how it comes together. So I will show you all of that. Okay, so this is our inside piece for our card. And for this one, I'm going to take that other little strip of vellum that is a 1/2 inch by 3 7/8. And we're going to put that along the bottom here. And then I'm just going to lay this across the bottom of my inside of my card to pull that vellum in there like that. And the cool thing about vellum is it will take on a little bit different color depending upon what color you're putting it on. So here it's a little deeper blue and here it's a little lighter, and that's because it's on white. And you could put it on yellow or green and you'd get a whole nother look to it. So we're going to place this right here on the inside of our card. And I am going to center it pretty well, hopefully pretty well. Just like that. And then I'm going to close this over because I want to see how these come together, because I'm going to stamp a little hello here at the top. And I'm using the hello from the Perfectly Pairs, the same one that we used last time on our card. So let me grab that and the Pool Party ink. And with this closed over so I can make sure that it shows, because I want this hello to show at the top, I'm just going to come in here and stamp hello. Just like that. Very simple, very easy. Okay, and then we're going to make a belly band for this card. And for that, I'm using the 1 inch by 9 inch strip that we cut. And I'm just kind of putting my card straight on my grid here, on my glass mat grid, and then folding over one side and folding over the other. And I don't give you score measurements for this because I find by folding it over this way, I get a better belly band that will still smoothly move on my card. Sometimes when you score it, even though it seems right, it's a little tight. And what we're going to do then is take a piece of tear and tape, and that's just because it's extra sticky, and I'm going to lay it down right on the end of this belly band, just like that. Oh, I broke it a little, but that won't matter. That's going to get covered up. I tore it a little. And then I'm going to use my bone folder to really adhere that, and then the end of my snips to come and pick up that backing on there and just peel it back off. So this tear and tape is super sticky, and because this belly band is going to be going up and down on my card, it'll just give it that extra adherence that I really want on there. So I'm going to put that together just like that. So now you can see it slides on here. And then we're going to cover this. And this is why I close my belly band in the front. So when I add my design to the front, it covers up where that seam is. So that is just a good way so that doesn't show. So we're going to use our Labeled with Love punch. And I am going to punch out a Pool Party label, as well as a basic white label, just like that. And then on the basic white, I am going to stamp with Pool Party the word friend. And I'm going to stamp that right in the middle, or as close to the middle as I can. Oh, that wasn't very, very straight, Maureen. Let's see if I can do better on this side. Maybe if I straighten my label up and my eyes. That one's better. So we're going to go with that one. Okay, so the word friend is on there. And then I'm going to take my classic Tuxedo Black Memento ink and these beautiful little flowers. Now these flowers also come from the same stamp set, the Perfectly Pairs stamp set, and they're right here. And we're going to stamp them onto this label around the edges, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to come in here and stamp them. I want to kind of frame my word there with them like that. And then maybe down here on this side. And then finally here, maybe I want to come in with this full flower. I'm thinking, guys, think with me as I go here. I think this one right here. Okay, so now I have my little flowers framing my word friend. Let's find our lid and put some of this stuff away. I am going to wipe off that excess ink that's on there so I don't get it all over my hands, because that'll get onto my cards. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take this blue piece. So this is Pool Party, the same exact punch as this one, and I'm going to cut it kind of in half horizontally. For that, I'm going to use my little paper cutter just because it's easy to get up here on the table. And we're going to come in about halfway. It doesn't have to be exact, but pretty close. I'm just going to make a horizontal cut on there. And this will allow me to use that same exact punch to frame this and put it on my card. Before I do put it on the card, though, I'm going to color my flowers. So I'm going to use the dark Lemon Lolly blend. You know I love my blends. I'm sad they're getting away from the watercolor markers, but honestly, I use my blends 100 times to 1 just about for the amount of times I use my markers. So for me, it does totally make sense. I'm going to come in here and we're just going to color in these flowers. Lemon Lolly is such a beautiful color. It's a soft yellow. The dark blend is nice and dark, and the lighter one is really a soft shade, if that's what you're looking for. I am not going to shade these flowers. I'm just going to color them because The flowers on the vellum aren't shaded really, they're just printed on there. So we're going to kind of continue with that same look. I did let my Memento ink dry just a little bit while I was cutting out or punching out that other label, because Memento ink will tend to blend with your blends, if that makes sense. It'll kind of feather out when you color with blends if it's not totally dry. So I gave it just a few seconds to dry. If I was going to be blending different colors together, I would let it sit even longer, because then you're going over those lines a little bit more and you can tend to get the feathering. But usually only a few seconds is all it needs for straight coloring. So I'm doing a lot of friend cards right now because we were home for my 50th class reunion and I saw a lot of friends that I hadn't seen in years, and I'm trying to get little thinking of you cards out to most of them to let them know how wonderful it was to see them again. So you'll see my last cards, and these are kind of friend themed for that reason. Okay, so there is our flowers. Now there is a little center for these flowers that you can stamp on, and I'm going to do that on my envelope. So that's why I said I started my envelope. Let me grab that. I did the hello friend, and then I put the little flowers around it. And then I'm going to add my centers to these flowers. So if I can find them right here. It's these three little connected, kind of blotchy looking things. And I am going to ink them up with Memento. And then hopefully I can find the angle they go at, just like this. So what I'm doing is I'm angling it so the two main ones go in the two main flowers. And once you center those and put them down, the third one automatically goes into that third one. So that is really nice. So you can certainly use these to finish off the centers of your flowers, which is a really nice look. I love it. But on my little label, I don't want to use those because I'm going to add some rhinestones. So I chose not to use those centers on these flowers. So let's complete this. I'm going to take the label that I stamped, and you can see how the blends come through on the back. So when I was coloring my envelope, I made sure that I put a piece of scrap paper in there so any blend that went through didn't go through to the back of my envelope. For here it doesn't matter because we're going to be layering this and it's going to be on the belly band, so we're good. I'm just putting some seal at the top and bottom, and then I'm going to take what I punched out here and just leave a little border of that blue showing at the bottom, and then I'm going to do the same thing at the top. So by cutting it apart, I was able to make it wider so it shows on each side and gives me that little framed look on my label. And I love that look. And you can do that with most any punch if you want to get a colored frame behind it. And then we're going to add this to the center. Oh, I know, I forgot one thing. I do want to add some little speckles to this. So I have the pool party here. We're going to grab that one more time and do a couple things here. I'm going to add from this same set here. There's not only the three designs for the center of the flowers, but there's a little speckly design. And I love my little speckly designs. We're going to come in here and ink those up. And because it's pool party, it doesn't matter that I layered this. It would have been smarter to do it before I layered it, but you know, I don't always do things completely the smartest way. So we're going to come in here and I'm just adding some of those speckles in between my flowers, like that. I just think it gives it a really nice finished look on that label. And then I have a little scrap for my sentiment. So on this, I am going to stamp the word friend with the pool party. And we're just going to come in here. Hopefully I will do it straight. If not, I will do it again. Like that. I forgot actually when I stamped this that is not how I did it on my prototype. So I'm changing it up, guys. Although this would certainly work. But I did the little friend again on a scrap piece. Like this. And I am going to come in here and snip that off. And actually I'm going to snip this end off a little bit too to make them a little more even like that. So now I have my scrap, and I am going to pop this friend up with some mini dimensionals. So, you know, it's a woman's prerogative to change her mind, right? And that's what I'm doing. We're doing dimensionals on here. One. I love the little mini dimensionals, like for this kind of stuff when you have a tiny little sentiment. You can also cut your larger ones apart, and that works great too, so you don't have to have these. They're just very convenient when you need them all ready to go. Now we're going to take our little friend, and place it right down on top of those flowers, like that. Huh, I like it, I like it. Okay, let's add this, excuse me, to our belly band. So just adding some seal kind of down the middle here, where it's going to hit the belly band. And we're going to come in here, make sure my friend is going the right way. Try to get this straight and line it up on there pretty straight. And so now it says hello friend, which I think is adorable. We need to add some bling. So I'm going to grab my all-time favorite bling, our rhinestone basic jewels. Please, Lord, never let Stampin' Up! Get rid of these, because they are a favorite of mine. We're going to come in with the tiniest ones and just add them right in the centers of the flowers. And that's why I didn't stamp the centers like I did on the envelope, because I wanted to be able to add these rhinestones on here. And I could have done it over the black, but I just didn't think it was necessary. So I'm going to put one in the center of each of these flowers. Look how pretty that looks and how blingy. All right, guys. So I think that's it. This is our card for today. Here is my envelope. Here is the card. This slides off. This opens up. You have plenty of area to write your message, and then close it. Now I want to show you another way you could do this same exact fold, and this is the one I made a mistake on, and I'm still not sure why, but it doesn't matter. It's just a little narrower, so I must have cut my cardstock incorrectly. Anyway, on this one I made it into a pocket card, and to do that, all I did is I did not add my centerpiece. When I flipped this over on top of each other like this, I glued down the very bottom with my seal, like that. I also put glue along this edge, so when it hit here, it was sealed. So now it's all sealed shut like it is on this one. When I put my belly band around, rather than just wrapping it to slide off, I attached it down with glue, so it has the same look, but they're not able to pull it off. And then instead of putting my hello at the top like this, I added it to a little tab, and that tab was made with that same punch right here. Folded it in half, added it with a glue dot, and made my little pocket to go in here on yellow. So there's a couple different ways you can do this same exact look, and I actually love both of them. They're just different. Like this and this. How cool. Aren't they cute? I think they're just adorable. So I hope you liked them too. This is the card I'm giving away today, the one that crisscrosses and actually has the belly band. That slides off. This is the instructions, but I'm going to retype this because I noticed another mistake on here. So rather than give you one that's incorrect, I will retype it, and then I will print it with a picture of the card and put that into the description in the comments later today sometime. So, yep, things happen. Okay, guys, this is the card I'm giving away. Thank you for taking some time to be with me today. I hope hope you liked this card. Please give me your comments for a chance to win it. I love to hear from you. I would also love to have your business. If you're looking for Stampin' Up! Products, or if you just have questions for me, please contact me. I'm here to answer your questions, to be your creative coach. Any questions at all, any comments, or anything that you need to know about Stampin' Up!, please reach out to me by email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I really do plan to be back here on Tuesday. My Tuesday at this moment is open, so I do plan to be here at my regular time, 10:30 a.m. Central Time. I hope you will join me then. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. Enjoy every minute of it, and I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.